by 67-year-old Frank Gillman, who was asked to name his own price for this horse, but who said there's no money that's worth more to me than my horse. Frank's first runner in the National back in 1965, another Duke. He bought him as a hunter. He was told by his stableman at the time that it was too good for him to ride. He ought to run him in races. So he ran him in the National. He fell at the third, but he won the Consolation National at Uttoxeter very soon afterwards and won a great many races. But of course, he's never had a thrill like this. This has been a horse that has looked likely to win a National for a very long time. There's Mike Marshall, the very tall lad at the horse's near side there, who does the horse. He'll be a happy man. He was on at 33 to 1, and he idolizes this horse. Catch him just to the left there, with Frank Gillman in the pork pie hat. Gritar, in whom the public's faith was rarely stirred latterly, so that he went off as the 7 to 1 favorite from 33 to 1 back in January. And here's the man who's only had about 5 rides this season under rules, ridden countless point-to-point winners. He gave up race riding altogether at one stage to concentrate on farming, and had it not been for the example of his gallant late friend John Thorne, who at 54 rode last year's runner-up and was tragically killed in a recent riding accident, I doubt if he would have been in the saddle today. Let me now give you the full official result of the 1982 Grand National, won by number 6, Gritar, owned by Frank Gillman, trained by him, and ridden by Mr. Dick Saunders. Second was number 27, Hard Outlook, owned by Lady Waits, trained by Andrew Waits, and ridden by Anthony Webber. Third was number 14, Loving Words, owned by Mr. A.V. Netley, trained by John Thorne, and ridden by Richard Hoare. And fourth was the long-time gallant leader and trailblazer, number 23, Delmos, owned by Mr. John K. Goodman and 3 of his American associates, trained by Folkwarden, ridden by Bill Smith. But what a performance by Geraldine. There she is, after being carried round Aintree on 2 circuits by cheers to become the first of her sex to complete. And here's the man himself. 48 when he set out. He'll be feeling 28 this evening. And just in the background there, Bob Champion, and how that typifies the fortunes of the racing game. The hero last year, this year, down at the first fence. No reason why Gritar shouldn't be back here. We've just got to keep the National going. He's only a 9-year-old, the ideal age for the race. He's the 16th in his age group to win in the 37 post-war runnings. Mike Marshall helping to, Steve Marshall I should call him, Steve Marshall helping to adjust the sash of honor on his idol. Just has one fad, this horse. He's fed 3 times a day, fed quite normally in morning and evening, but in the afternoon he just likes to have his box of food on his stable door, no other way.
Well, here in the winner's enclosure, Dick, please move around, is the man who's become the oldest jockey ever to win the Grand National. Totally unimportant, but what a marvellous, marvellous ride.
Well, I did nothing. He did it all for me. Marvellous ride. I thought I got another circuit to go.
But he really went well all the way, and the early pace
yes.
was pretty quick, wasn't it?
Yes, jumped superbly. Brilliant.
And of course, with your experience, you weren't going to be kidded, were you?
My experience isn't worth much. Horse did it all.
I have to tell you, we did Question of Sport last Sunday, and I flew back with Bob Champion, who won last year, as you know, and he said, don't underestimate Dick Saunders. He's probably the best horseman in the race.
Oh, it's very nice of him. The professionals have been marvellous to me. But first of all, thank the owner, Frank Gillman, fantastic owner, and all the training team, small team. They've done a marvellous job.
Now tell me about the race, having been down here for a long time. It did seem to me early on they went a hell of a gallop.
Well, they seemed to, but he was always going very easily on the ground. And I thought that unless I went on, I thought they might come and beat me for speed. Couldn't believe that there was nothing there behind me.
Now let's get on to the second circuit, because there was a bit of trouble going out of the country second time, and you were always going well.
Yes.
Were you where you wanted to be?
Yes, I had to go round one horse. I had said that I would go up the inner all the way, but I did have to go round one horse. But no, I was always where I wanted to be.
Oh, now, I did see you. I was watching you very closely. I have to admit, I backed you, see. So I was watching you very closely. There was an occasion going down the straight line of fences, down the back straight on the second circuit, when you had to jump very wide and you cut across very sharply back to the inside.
Well, as there was nothing on my inside, I got all the course to myself. And it's very necessary to angle those fences to land out in the right direction. Instead of having to hook up and then turn, I was swinging out before I approached the fences, so I was landing in the right direction.
There was one fence you seemed to come right across, made it absolutely perfect and save yards. Where was that?
I think that was the one after Beecher's. I think it was. Beecher's certainly. He swung and landed perfectly, straightened up for the next fence. But he did go a little bit wide at the canal turn.
Now, from the point where you hit the front, was it safety first, just settling down, relaxing and making sure you made no mistake?
No, just hoping like hell.
But you really weren't under all that much pressure, were you?
No, never under any pressure. I don't think probably I could have found much more if I'd needed to, but I never had to put him really under pressure at all.
Well, in the end, Dick, of course, you were going away. Just have a look now, coming to the last, and just watch what happened. You made sure you got this right, didn't you?
Yes.
Was he tired?
No, he wasn't tired. No, I just wanted to make sure we got it right. But I just wished you had come and told me how far I was clear.
It just went through the top of that slightly.
Just clipped through, yes. I think you could see where the timber was underneath the spruce. He just clipped it.
The most important thing is from here you were going away again.
Yeah, I didn't know that though. I didn't look round, never look round. Yeah. Anyway, that's my last ride. I hang up the boots.
Do you mean to say, as you watch this now, winning the Grand National, you are now saying this is your final ride?
Yes, yes. I said that if I won the Grand National, I would hang up the boots, and I won it.
There you are winning it. It's a marvellous, marvellous victory. Super Aintree horse, isn't he?
Marvellous, absolutely marvellous. Yes, fantastic ride I had. But don't forget all those that got him straight and got him here. I only steered him.
Dick, a lot of my hunting friends have always said what a great man you are across country, and that included people like John Thorne. Now, John was second last year on Spartan Missile. I know he was a great friend of yours, and I also know there's a marvellous story when you were very, very down, and John died, what, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago,
yes.
After an accident. John actually turned around and kept you riding, didn't he?
Yes,
now, what happened?
Well, it was when I'd lost 3 horses that I'd ridden, 3 horses in 3 weeks, and I was very depressed and thought I would hang up my boots. And then I met up with John in the dressing room, and John, who had then just lost Nigel, his only son. And I really thought, come on, pull yourself together, Saunders, you know, get cracking. John set a tremendous example to us all.
I'm told he said, come out and have a drink and forget it.
That's right, exactly that, he did.
Well, I know you'll have a drink tonight, and this is something you'll never forget.
Never.
And here we are, the oldest ever Grand National winner at 48. But having said that, what a marvellous ride, and a final ride too.
Thank you, David, thank you very much.
Brilliant, I enjoyed it enormously. Thank you very much. Well, now, just before we meet the winning owner-trainer, who's played such a major part in this, you at home who've backed the winner, or second, or third, or fourth, you'll want to know the starting prices.
First, number 6, Gritar, 7-1 favourite. Second, number 27, Hard Outlook, 50-1. Third, number 14, Loving Words, 16-1. And fourth, number 23, Delmos, 50-1. First, Gritar, 7-1 favourite. Second, Hard Outlook, 50-1. third Loving Words 16 to 1, and fourth Delmos 50 to 1, and the jackpot number was 306.
Well, now celebrating here is the owner, trainer, Frank Gillman. Now, Frank, you couldn't complain about that. The old boy, you know, we keep calling him the old boy, but that was a marvellous ride by the oldest man ever to win the National.
Super ride. He gave it a grand ride. And I understand he's going to pack it up now, isn't he? Is it right?
He's just announced, actually, that's his last ride.
Yes, yes. I think he's very wise. Always want to finish at the top. But I shall miss him. I shall miss him.
Now, tell us a bit about Gritar, because the horse obviously loves jumping, obviously loves the course.
I don't know about loving the course, but he likes jumping. He'll have a cut in anything. He's such a nice round action. He gets shorter stride. He needs to meet him right all the way. That's where he has the advantage, I think, of these long striding horses. And the ground was just right, really, for it to get the distance without knocking him about, you know. Been heavy, he'd have been really, really tired, wouldn't he? Today he finished strong.
He was going away at the finish.
He was, but he's played a puff now, isn't he? Like me.
Did you breed the horse?
Yes.
Tell us a bit about the background and what sort of character he is.
Well, he's a bit of a character. If he doesn't want to go on the gallop in the morning, he won't have to lead him out. He just says, I'm not going on there. But if you wait a bit, usually he goes. Very strong wheel, but very easy to ride. Anybody can ride him. A girl can ride him. Anybody can ride him. Super horse to have.
You mean a girl could ride him?
Any girl could ride him.
What about the girl behind us?
I mean, she could ride him, yes.
Well, she's just become the first girl ever to finish the National course. You know that.
Super,
Geraldine Rees.
super, yes, lovely.
We'll be talking to her in
Yes,
just a
in a
moment.
minute, yes.
But well done. And now I know you've got to receive the trophy as the winning owner. And Mrs. Bruce Matthews, who's the wife of the managing director of News Group Limited, has got the Grand National trophy to offer to you, Mr. Gillman. If you'd like to receive it, there it is, the Grand National trophy donated by Ainsley, China. The 1982 Sun Grand National Trophy. Well done. So there is the presentation. Congratulations once more. And do you know what he's just said, Geraldine? Before I say, well, I better say congratulations first on becoming the first girl to get round. 4 to 1, ridiculous odds, weren't they? Did you back yourself?
No, I didn't, no. I think my husband backed me a little bit.
Well, a marvellous, marvellous ride. And he's just said, actually, a girl could ride Gritar. Would you like to offer?
Well, I would have loved it, but well done to everybody concerned with Gritar.
Now, tell us a bit about the race itself. I mean, this is your first experience, and I'm told that you're wondering for the next race, and you mustn't disappear yet. I mean, we're not going to hold it up too long, but John Hughes, the efficient clerk at the course, will hang on for you, I'm sure. Because, I mean, this is a piece of history. What sort of ride did you have on Cheers all the way?
Oh, he was super. He, just the last half mile, he was absolutely stone cold, and I could hear everybody as I was going past shouting, go on, go on. And the last 2 fences, he was just about jumped them, and then he was absolutely exhausted after running. I must admit, so was I, but he just about hung on. It was fantastic. Thank you very much, Mr. Mackenzie, and everybody, Mr. Shalley, and everybody concerned for offering me the ride. Thank you very much.
Geraldine, you've made history today. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, and good luck in the next. Thank you. Geraldine Rees, the first ever lady to finish the Grand National, to actually complete the course. And what a day we've had. We've also got the oldest winning jockey ever in Dick Saunders. Well, at this moment, I suppose most of you would like to know what's going on in the FA Cup semi-finals. I'm told in the headphone, in spite of all the noise, I'm sure I got it right, there is no score in the semi-finals so far, either in England or Scotland. But in the meantime, I'm sure, too, you at home would like to know how you won and lost and where the money was won or thrown away. So we can now have a look around the whole of the Grand National course with our commentators, and we start with Peter O'Sullivan.
Bill Smith, having blazed the trail in the early stages, seemed towards the right of the picture on Delmos, who finally came back and ran such a gallant race in the end. That's Deep Gale right over on the left, and he's absolutely the first to go, Alan's Hope there. Deep Gale is gone. Aldeniti is gone. Man Alive, Malakari, Rathlek, and Rambling Jack, one of the 2 Scottish hopes. And disappointing there to see Rathlek right in the background there, just about to go with that sporting 42-year-old solicitor John Carden. There's Deep Gale going bang, and he's brought down Mullacurry, I would say. That's Man Alive, the grey nearest to us. Over on the far side, you can see Rambling Jack, and my goodness, Deep Gale's rider. And there's Bob Champion, who's jumped it rather late on last year's Year Old Dick. Bob's tried to grab him, has missed, and it really looks like a battlefield. Cole Spell was also a faller, incidentally, at that one, at which point we joined John Hanmer.
And 3-1 also a faller, but they're jumping the second, and I think they were all clear at the second, with Delmos on the inside in the lead. That's Royal Mail towards the inside, jumping it safely. Delmos, Carrow Boy, then Good Prospect tracking them. The Vintners right up there at the ditch, and 4 fell at the ditch. They were Martinstown and Charlotte Brew who fell, Coolish Hall, Deermount and Sun Lan, but they were all very much towards the back of the field, particularly Martinstown, but they've jumped the 4th now. Delmos is the leader as we join Julian Wilson.
And coming down to the next one, Delmos had the clear lead, and they seem to all jump this. Delmos jumped it well, Carrow Boy. Geraldine Rees really well up there. There's the winner on the inside, Dick Saunders. And coming down to Beechers, well, the first one who's going to fall here is going to be the Vintner, who's in the second, just inside of Carrow Boy. Now, interesting to look further back and look for Bob Davis, who's right on the inside, just crossing the road there. He's on Royal Mail, and we missed him falling the first time. There's the Vintner gone, and Choral Festival's gone. Now, just at the back there, Bob Davis had fallen out of my sight, and there you can see him is on his feet there. He just landed on his feet, and it was a fall right in the well of Beechers, which was out of sight from here. After jumping this one, there is again the same, who makes a bad mistake with John Joe O'Neill. John Joe recovers, but his horse is obviously lame after that and is pulled up. Now they go to the canal turn, and Delmos is clear of his field, about 6 lengths clear from Carrow Boy in second. A really bold jump by Delmos, and Fillens was in 3rd place, then Good Prospect and Gritar, then Loving Words, and the only faller at this one was This Way, who was right at the back of the field. And Delmos is clear going into Valentine's. He's still 4 or 5 lengths clear from Carrow Boy, St. Fillens, Good Prospect, and there's Dick Saunders in 5th place, going really well on Gritar. And this is where we move back into John Hanmer's territory.
And Delmos had a clear lead at this point. He was jumping beautifully. Got a little bit close to that. Carrow Boy over 2nd, St. Fillens 3rd. Then Good Prospect jumped at 4th. Gritar going very well in 5th place, and he's followed by Loving Words, the eventual 3rd. Coming to the next, this is an open ditch. Delmos jumps that well in the lead. Carrow Boy a bit close to that. Good Prospect, who's to refuse later on, going well, and Dick Saunders just exactly where he wants to be. The faller towards the back of the field was Senator MacLacurry, and also Old Society, just going on the extreme inside of the picture. Both those Irish-trained horses came to no harm, and the riders were quickly on their feet. But it's Delmos in front of Carrow Boy and St. Fillens, and over to Peter O'Sullivan.
Yes, Delmos was going really well at this stage, but there was a really hairy moment later when he was badly hampered by a loose horse and looked almost sure to be carried. Look at Bill there making that evasive action. Very clever he was, and brave of Delmos to get back in the race and have another go. It almost came to a standstill. It really was a brave effort. Carrow Boy just behind him, then St. Fillens, and then Good Prospect, and then Loving Words the Grey, and then Tipolino is still going strongly, and that was Hard Outlook, and then Current Coin, and this is Delmos back with his ears pricked now. He's got his equilibrium back well, and he's jumping from Carrow Boy, and then St. Fillens, then Good Prospect, then Gritar on the inside of Loving Words the Grey, and Tipolino, and Tragus, and this is where they come to the chair. Number 15, this very daunting obstacle. A wide ditch on the takeoff side. Delmos from Carrow Boy and St. Fillens. And then Good Prospect. Tragus on the inside of Gritar. Tipolino, Hard Outlook, and Current Coin. Current Gold, I should say. So now looking from another angle. Little Delmos, not much of him. Plenty of guts. Carrow Boy, St. Filins, who've nodded a little bit there. Gritar, the grey, Loving Words, Tipolino, that's Hard Outlook. And then Current Coin. Current Gold. I'll call him the right name in a moment. That's Royal Stewart, the stable companion of Royal Mail. And there's Geraldine on Cheers. Monty Python, who made a mistake. Gandy upsides, and here's 3 of Diamonds and Pat O'Connor. Just getting a pedal back, you see there. It doesn't let you off, does it, this machine? Make a mistake, I'm afraid, and there it is, to see for life, over the water. Delmos from Carrow Boy and St. Filins. And Gritar with, on his inside there was Tragus. And so out they went on the second circuit, with Carrow Boy taking the advantage there off Delmos. Between horses is St. Filins. Tragus over on the far side, and still sticking to the inner. There is Dick Saunders on Gritar, being followed by Loving Words, then Tipolino, then Hard Outlook, who was to run on so well, and then Current Gold. He's by Current Coin, by the way, so we've got his name right at last, and here's John Hammer.
Just in the lead at the 18th, Carrow Boy from St. Filins. There's Delmos towering a little. Tragus and Peter Scudamore going right up on the outside. But Tragus made quite a few errors from this point and ultimately got very tired. But St. Filins, a very good jump on the inside. Tragus on the outside. This is Delmos and Gritar. That's Tipolino going over it. And Royal Stewart, we might see refuse, but I think he was just out of shot. As they go to the next, St. Filins in the lead now from Carrow Boy and Tragus, and then right on the inside, Gritar taking 4th place, and here's Julian Wilson.
And the leaders were jumping all right here. It was the ones at the back who were just getting a little bit tired, and we've had the widespread refusals at Beecher's the second time. But over the one before Beecher's, Dick Saunders on the right, you can see in a perfect position, but very brave going round on the inside where the drops are deeper, of course. And Filins was in front at this point. Tragus still there right on the left, then the hoop sleeves of Carrow Boy, then crossing the road there was Gritar and Loving Words, and all these leading horses are going to jump Beecher's all right. You can also see Current Gold and Delmos there. St. Filins is over. His nose ploughed the ground, but he was all right. Gritar's over in second, Carrow Boy over in third, then Tragus, and then Loving Words, and their Hard Outlook, and their Current Gold, who makes a remarkable recovery, and their Delmos, and they're a long way clear. And so all of the disaster action at Beecher's happened a long way back after that. Tipolino, you can see, has just refused there, and this is Tipolino's refusal, in fact, started the problems there, because also Gandy Fell, Monty Python and Rose Rambler were taken out of the race. The leaders have all jumped the 23rd fence now, and you can see that apart from the first 7, well, there are only 2 left in the race, and those 3 of Diamonds and Cheers. But now Gritar and Dick Saunders are in front at the second canal turn with a lead of 2 or 3 lengths. He really stands back at that one, Gritar, like a good old hunter, the good old hunter he is. Over in second place, St. Filins and Carrow Boy, and Tragus being reined round there. Hard Outlook jumped it well, then Loving Words, and then Current Gold, and then Delmos, and the rest of them long way behind. The other 2, because there are only 2 left now. And St. Filins made a mistake there, and so did Carrow Boy, and Loving Words is over next, and Tragus, but it's the next fence, I recall, where the damage occurred, and that is covered by John Hammer.
Well, Gritar is still in the lead. It may be the fence afterwards, in fact. We'll see in a second, because St. Filins is all right at that, so is Carrow Boy.